Hello everyone, welcome back to our TOEFL preparation series. Today we are going to master the read and notice question type, which tests your ability to navigate functional, everyday documents you would typically see on a university campus. These questions require a sharp eye for detail and an understanding of specific instructions. So let's jump right in and see how an expert approaches these texts. If you're finding these strategies helpful for your prep, don't forget to subscribe to myTOEFL for more deep dives into the exam. Let's keep working together to reach your target score. Ancient Discovery Collective. The name Ancient Discovery Collective suggests that the notice originates from a group focused on historical research or archaeology. Recognizing the word collective helps us mentally prepare for a text involving a community of researchers or students working on a shared project. Field Research Permit Application. The subtitle Field Research Permit Application narrows the focus to a specific administrative requirement for students. It signals that the following text will outline the necessary steps to secure permission for field research activities. Students wishing to participate in the upcoming archaeological survey of the coastal ruins must submit their academic transcripts through the department's online portal by Thursday. This sentence sets the initial requirement by stating that students must use an online portal to submit their academic records. The use of the word transcripts confirms that this is an academic setting, and the Thursday deadline establishes the time-sensitive nature of the application. Once your materials are reviewed, you should download the safety handbook and complete the mandatory field ethics exam on the student website. Once the digital submission is complete, the author introduces a secondary requirement involving a safety handbook and an ethics check. The phrase mandatory field ethics exam indicates that this step is a non-negotiable prerequisite for participating in the actual research. Finally, candidates must visit the laboratory coordinator in room 122 to provide a signed health waiver and pick up their survey equipment. The final step transitions from digital tasks to a physical one, requiring a visit to the laboratory coordinator. By mentioning the need to pick up specific survey equipment, the sentence highlights that the process concludes with the distribution of physical tools for the field. What type of organization issued the notice? We need to identify the type of organization that would issue such a notice. To find the answer, we should look for clues like who manages academic transcripts and archaeological survey logistics. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A, the Government Health Department. While the text does mention a health waiver, there is no indication that the issuer is a government health department. The primary focus is on an archaeological survey, which is outside the scope of a typical health department's duties, so we can eliminate this. Now, let's examine option B, a local transportation office. Option B suggests a transportation office, but the notice does not discuss travel routes, vehicles, or commuting. Instead, it focuses on survey equipment and academic requirements, making this option a poor fit. Here's option C. Let's break it down. A campus archaeology group. This option, a campus archaeology group, matches all the clues in the text, including the need for students to submit transcripts to a specific department. The mention of a student website and a specific room 1A2 strongly supports a campus-based organization. Let's evaluate option D together. A professional banking association. A banking association is completely unrelated to the coastal ruins or field ethics mentioned in the text. There is no mention of finance or banking, so we should eliminate this option immediately. The correct answer to this question is option C, since the notice uses academic terminology and describes a research process typical of a campus-based archaeology group. How can the customer student user complete the process? This question asks for the specific method to complete the process of application. We need to find the sequence of actions that leads to the final step of the permit application, focusing on the word complete. Now, let's look at the options. Let's take a closer look at option A. By attending a workshop in the city. The text does not mention attending a workshop or going to the city. It specifies using an online portal and visiting a laboratory coordinator, so this option is incorrect. Now let's examine option B. By mailing physical documents. While students must submit documents, the text explicitly says to do so through an online portal, not by mailing physical documents. This contradicts the instructions provided in the first sentence. Here's option C. Let's break it down. By calling the office for an interview. There is no mention of calling the office or an interview in the text. The requirements are strictly about submitting transcripts, taking an exam, and visiting the coordinator in person. Let's evaluate option D together. Together, by using a portal and visiting a lab. This option accurately reflects the two main phases, using a portal for the digital steps and visiting a lab for the final physical step. It correctly summarizes the transition from the online portal to seeing the laboratory coordinator. The correct answer to this question is option D, since it perfectly captures the sequence of digital and in-person requirements outlined in the notice. To score high on notice-based questions, always look for the logical progression of steps and identify whether they are digital or physical. Pay close attention to nouns like portal or room number to pinpoint exactly where actions take place. Mastering these small details will help you avoid distractors that sound plausible but aren't supported by the text.